We got lucky again. We've had a good little stretch right here with comparisons. The only naturally aspirated mid-size truck that's offered on the market. Did you know that? Every single engine offered in the Ranger has turbos. In Tacomaville, in case you didn't know, there is no more naturally aspirated V6. So in the new Tacoville, you can do a 4-cylinder turbo, a 4-cylinder turbo hybrid, or that's it. Or, oh, you can move on to the Chevrolet Colorado and the GMC Canyon. Wait a second, they're rocking 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbos. Oh, I did lie to you guys. The Jeep Gladiator. I'm so sorry I told a big fib, because I hate the Pentastar V6. I despise it, but that's my personal opinion. But to rectify my lie, excuse me, this is one of 2 naturally aspirated mid-size pickup trucks. The Nissan Frontier. We got, like, I think it's a 3.8 liter V6. We're rocking like 300, a little over 300 horsepower. We got in the mid-2s on torque. Over here, the Ford Ranger. That has the 2.3, the Mustang engine. So we're like 270 horsepower and like right at 300 pound-feet of torque. That is the only engine that is offered in the Nissan Frontier. Nissan's in trouble. In case you didn't know it, Nissan is it's bad times at Nissan. See, they were supposed to merge with Honda. That didn't happen. So Nissan is fudged, okay? Totally whacked out, foobarred beyond all recognition. Maybe they can claw out, but anyway, the Nissan Titan, it's no moss. Even if there was a Titan, they done plucked the V8. Nissan said, shit, we're going with turbos and we're gonna stick V6s in everything. So, but that's kind of not bad for the Frontier, because now they can spend all of that money on the Frontier. All of that money for research and development. They've only got 1 truck to do it with now. Over here, 3 engines, 2.3, 2.7, or you could get a Raptor and a 3 liter. I would like to address something real quick. This is a Pro 4X in Frontierville. That's the most off-roady, 4-wheel drive offering that they have. Now, if I had brought a Ford Ranger Raptor over here, I'll put a picture up right now, it would be highly, highly unfair. So I do have this 4-wheel drive version right here because it's a little more fair. Because sticking the Frontier Pro 4X against the Ranger Raptor, let's not set it up for failure, because the Ranger Raptor, that's a behemoth. That's a mid-size truck all to itself. There's really not a mid-size truck that competes with it. Casey, what about the Tacoma Pro TRD? No. ZR2 Colorado? No. Anyway, let's get back to these 2 trucks. Nissan had a redesign a few years ago. Nissan's always kind of played second fiddle in my mind to the Toyota Tacoma, and there is nothing wrong with the Taco. I love Tacos. I'm just not big on the 4-cylinder new Tacos with all the technology. They had a great little naturally aspirated V6, and they have removed that now. Anyway, I'll get over it in time. I just haven't gotten over it yet. All right, let's go ahead and get back in here and let's see what we got going on. We've got a soft opening bed right there. Looks like we got a little LED lights going on in there. We got a power outlet. We certainly do, look right there. A little power outlet and a bed liner. This truck just got here, so it hasn't been detailed yet, so it's still of the filthy. Soft closing, soft opening. Trailer hitch, I believe we're gonna tow 6,500 to 7,500 pounds, but I will put the number right in there because we want to be accurate. Somebody tinted the windows on this truck massively. All right, the Pro 4X, remember that's more 4-wheel drive and all of that, so we're gonna be rugged. Everything's gonna be geared towards that. We got the orange stitching. We got a little squishy squish right there. There's a little squishy squish, some nylon going on. That's hard plastic. Knuckle cracking water bottle holder right there. We do have some cost saving measures. We got 1 mat pocket on the back of the passenger seat, but not over there. Well, both trucks, neither one of them have center vents or rear vents on the back of that center console. We're in America. In the United States, a lot of folk use their pickup trucks as the family car. Because remember, this is a Nissan Pathfinder in a roundabout sort of way, okay? All right, so we're coming over here. We do have a little storage underneath the seat right there. I think how do we live? Oh, there's a little switch right there. Monkey. Got a little storage underneath right there. We have got folding center console right there to put some cups and drinks and things like that. We've got a manual rear sliding window. There's nothing wrong with that. Real quick, I'm about 6'1", about 266 pounds this morning. I'm in an A-cup bra. So what we're gonna do, I'll tell you that not to brag about my size, because why would a man brag about having tits? I'm telling you this so when we get back in here, you can compare yourself to me and you'll see how you would fit comfortably or not comfortably in the back of the Frontier. This is gonna suck. It's not as bad as I thought. Headroom, we got a little bit going on right there. Shoulder room, it's actually not bad. And if the person sitting right there would be kind enough to scoot forward just a little bit, then I might could possibly get on in there. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Kind of makes me want to go straight to the Ranger from here. Let's do that. Let's go. Screw it. We're doing this review. We can do it any way we want to. Sit right there. Let's come right over here to the Danger Ranger. You mind if we get in your back seat just real quick? I know we're jumping trend right here, but I figure since we're talking about that, it does look a little bit more, but see, no vents on the back of that center console, but you've got some USB-Cs and some power outlets. My size did not change, nor did my bra size. Whoa. Well, there's a big difference. Win for the Ranger. Back to the review. Sorry, Nissan. I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, we just got to call it like we see it. And they were just bigger. All right, let's go ahead and finish up this Nissan Frontier so we can go on back over to the Ranger. All right, the oranges is going on everywhere. We got some power seats, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Oh, I was wondering why it smelled so good and juicy in there. We've got, let's see, what are all these buttons? We can lock our differential. We've got downhill assist. There's to turn on the cargo lamp. There's to turn on the power outlet in the bed. We got traction control, a real e-brake. That is something really cool. As we go more and more towards the future, everything is electronic. The e-brake in the Ranger, that's electric. The e-brake in the F-150, that's electric. The e-brake in these Mustangs right here, that's electric. Does that car have red interior? Oh my God. Black EcoBoost with red guts. Whoa, that's a good looking car. We got to come back to that. Okay, anyway, sorry. All right, here we go. We'll climb back here. Got a decent sized screen. Automatic transmission. I believe it's an 8 or a 9 speed. The Pro 4X does look good right there in the seat. All the orange stitching looks good. Cloth interior. We've got dual zone climate control. We got heated seats, a heated steering wheel. USB, USB-C, there's your 4-wheel drive controls. Looks like we don't have any drive modes. We've got a wireless charging pad right there for your phone. A little 12-volt right there. Anything and everything. Now, I will say this one doesn't have a sunroof, but I have seen them with sunroof, so it is an option and you can get it. Sorry about the tornado there blowing on you. This particular one has 6,600 miles on it. All right, let's move on over to the Ranger. Last year in 2024, the Ford Ranger got a new front end, got a new butt, and got a whole new interior. So we did a little refresh, not an all new type situation, just a redo, a revamp, bringing it into the mid 2020s. You know what I'm saying? 2.3 is the base engine, 2.7 mid engine, or the 3-liter. About 270 horsepower right here with the 4-cylinder. Then you go up to about 315 with the 2.7, and then you're a little over 400 with the Raptor 3-liter. Remember, the 3-liter engine, that's the same engine that is shared with the Exploder ST and also the Bronco Raptor itself. Okay, we've got a little step right there in the bedside. Ford, that's going to be one thing that you're going to notice right here between these two. And I'm not knocking Nissan, but we've talked about how Nissan's in a little bit of financial straits right now. Ford's not. So Ford has ample money for their research and development, and they also have ample money to put little Zuzus and Wham Whams like a step right there in the lower bedside. Nissan's had stuff like that in the past. The Nissan Titan, when it first came out, it had this locking thing behind the rear wheel. It was just on one side. Anyway, very cool little design. Towing, I think it's about 6,000 to 7,500 pounds, but I will put the number up there so we can be accurate. Soft opening and closing tailgate, same exact thing as we got going on over there. Bed liner, power outlet 12-volt and a regular one. We got LED lights in this one. We do not have an LED light. Yeah, we do. The lights are right there. So we got the same exact stuff on the Ford that the Nissan had. New tail lights. I will say the refresh looks good. The interior is where Ford really, well, they really brought it home. We've already set it in the back of this thing so we know. Let's do a little squishy squish test because we didn't do that earlier. Whoa. Whoa. There's a spit of squishy squish right here, but everything else is nice, gooey, hard plastic. All right, have we got some cost-cutting measures? We certainly do. Only one mat pocket on the back of that seat. I have a venture to say that within a few more years there'll be no mat pockets, because Casey, who the hell actually carries around a mat? Well, I still do, but I'm old. All right, power outlet, 12 volts back there. We've got a center console right there to put down a couple of cup holders. Same exact thing. Pull this tether right here. We've got some storage underneath the seat right there. So the same thing going on that the Nissan had. Let's have a little look-see up front. I don't know if a sunroof is offered in the Ford Ranger. That is actually a good question. I will put that information up there for us so we can learn about it, because I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry. XL, XLT, Lariat, and Raptor are the four that I can think of. Maybe there'll be a few more. I'll put them in there. We got dual power seats on this one. Just a regular glove box. You got a little bit of a holder right there to put some stuff right there. That one has a wireless charging pad underneath. Here are your four-wheel drive switches right there. This one doesn't have GOAT modes and stuff, but the Raptor does. We're rocking a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's the same 10-speed that was in the last generation. I think that's a 12.4-inch screen. They borrowed that from the Ford Edge. Let's walk around there and get behind the wheel of this thing. I think that screen came from the Edge. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm confident in saying that. All right, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Let's see, you got your electronic e-brake right there because it used to be right there. There's your headlight switches, the cargo light off the back of the cab right there. You can't get a manual transmission in this, but you can't get a manual transmission in the Frontier. If they would offer that, that would be fantastic. And you know what the thing of it is? See here, here's something. In the Bronco, you can get a 2.3 four-cylinder with a 7-speed manual. So maybe one day we could pray. I doubt it'll ever happen, but you never know. Dual zone climate control going on right there. You've got let's see if we got a couple camera options in here. Some have them, some don't. No, it looks like all we got is the back, but that's okay. Clean gauge cluster's lash stand. Clean gauge cluster. God, it's 99 degrees outside. I thought it felt hot as bizzalls out here. You can have Copilot 360. You can have leather sun. I don't know about the sunroof thing. It does have a sliding rear window. If you'll look right there in that rear view mirror. Oh, look at that. All right, that's about all I got to say is going on right here. All right, let's go ahead and pop that hood. 3.8. All right, 3.8 naturally aspirated V6, 2.3 twin turbo V6. Let me explain something to you. I have no problem. I do not hate anything about turbos. Turbos are a lot of fun. They make a lot of really cool noises, and they make vehicles go fast with small engines, okay? Which is exactly what we're talking about here. 2.3 liters versus 3.8 liters. So we're 1.5 liters smaller. But we've got pretty much the same kind of power because of the turbo. Here's the way this breaks down. Turbo engines are under a lot of pressure because of the turbo. That's just inherent. Fun, that's just what happens. The naturally aspirated engine, here's the way I would break this down, okay? If you only keep a vehicle for a couple of years, I'd say whichever one, it doesn't really matter. If longevity means to you 10, 12, 15 years, yes, there are people out there that keep cars that long because they're intelligent. Because let me tell y'all something, the best car ever is a paid-for car. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a Mustang, a Geo Metro, or a Ferrari. If it's paid for, that's the car to have. But anyway, if you keep a car for 10, 12, 15 years in a long, long time, I honestly believe, in my humble opinion, that a naturally aspirated engine has a lot better chance of making it that long and that many years and mileage and everything, as opposed to a turbo engine. Now, there are probably some engines that are exceptions to that rule. I'm sure there are, but genuinely generally speaking, not genuinely, generally speaking, I think longevity and reliability over years and years and decades would go to the naturally aspirated. All right, let's go. Show me what you got, 3.8. All right, let's go. That was a snappy shift. Thank you so very much for watching the video. I can't say thank you enough to everybody, all of the new followers and everything. The channel is growing outrageous. I thank you over and over and over again. Also thank Ford of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for letting me have playtime in your sandbox. If you didn't let me play in the sandbox, I don't guess I'd have a channel. But anyway, thank you so much, Ford of Murfreesboro, and thank all of the followers and everybody that has come on to and started following Hobley Motorsports. Thank you. I can't say that enough.